Joining us tonight at our first ever, soon to be, I'm sure, annual Fast Pitch.
When I look into your eyes, it's like watching the night sky.
In my 90-second fast pitch, 4 women will become victims of domestic violence. In that same 90 seconds, 1 woman is going to report the sexual assault to the police. That's staggering statistics when you realize you're listening to 15 fast pitches today. In that same 90 seconds, a woman's going to call our 24-hour crisis hotline where she's going to hear an empathetic voice telling her that his actions aren't her fault. Another's going to walk into our emergency shelter where she's able to sleep safely for the first time in a long time.
Have you ever been hungry? Sure, there are times when we may have skipped breakfast or lunch, and possibly breakfast and lunch for very unusual circumstances. Can you imagine what it must feel like coming to school as a student on a Monday morning, having not eaten enough food or enough of the right food? This fall is the first time we've been able to offer our Backpack Buddy program to 100% of the eligible elementary students in Georgetown. Remember, these children are our future.
The Caring Place is a nonprofit organization that provides services for financial, food, clothing, medical. We help with people who are in financial crisis. I want you to picture a child in the middle of winter without a warm coat. As a mother, I can't imagine sending my child to the bus stop without a warm coat. That's why the Caring Place has its annual Coats for Kids campaign every November.
I'm here to talk about a crisis in which basic rights and needs of our children are being violated every day. Because the very system that is supposed to be looking after them doesn't have the resources that it needs to do so. There are 580 children in the custody of the state here in Williamson County. CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates, and we provide trained volunteers who are court appointed to act in those children's best interests on their way to a safe and permanent home. I'm asking you to give us your vote for this funding tonight because $11,000 will allow us 9 more children to get a CASA. Thank you.
Our mission is to raise awareness and raise funds for programming for cognitively and developmentally delayed children and young adults in Georgetown, Texas. We're asking for a grant today to help fund our therapeutic summer camps, Let's Make Friends, and Any Eagle Can. The children that attend our camps are on the autism spectrum. Some have Down, some have CP, some have medically fragile things like G-spots, trachs, they're wheelchair bound, etc. And we need help funding nurses for the camps.
I'm asking for funding for the Georgetown Senior Nutrition and Meals on Wheels program. Bob can't see very much and can hear even less, but when I asked him why he comes to the Medela Hilliard Center to eat, he made a list for me. He's satisfied to ride the CARTS bus and eat there, except when people get loud on the bus and he has to take his hearing aids out so he doesn't have to listen to me. He wouldn't have anything to do with his time before dinner. He loves the food because he's not able to cook.
This is Leah's story. When I was in the 6th grade, my mother left us. I lived in transition with my father for the next 6 years. Dad struggles with alcoholism and couldn't hold a job, but he was all I had. Dad and I lived in our car, in local motels, or with people who lent a couch or a floor. Most of the time it was our car. I used to be a cutter, and the long-sleeved sweatshirt that I wore every day hid my scars, at least the ones on the outside. We would appreciate your support very much. Thank you very much.
Stephen chose to serve his country. He was sent to Iraq 4 times, and he had 6 explosions happen to him. When he came back to the United States, he could no longer live with his family because of his explosive behavior and his horrible nightmares. And he got his life back. His life was truly changed because of his connection with the horse, and now he wants to serve others and give back. Your support, your help will help us heal through horses. Thank you.
Mr. Daniel asked me to present the Boys and Girls Club
fast pitch because he thought I would have a better chance of success than he would. I also really enjoyed taking part in the technology programs that Mr. David teaches, such as Phototech and Musitech. In Phototech, I have learned about things such as shutter speed and ISO, as well as to add effects to photographs. I hope you enjoyed my fast pitch, and thank you for the opportunity to talk a little about our Boys and Girls Club.
Have you ever thought what it would be like if you couldn't get in and out of your home by yourself? Neither had Dave and Sue. Let me tell you about Dave's dilemma. Recently, Dave suffered a debilitating stroke, and now he's confined to a wheelchair. And his wife, Sue, can't get him in and out of the house by herself. This is where Habitat for Humanity of Williamson County can play a vital role.
The Georgetown Festival of the Arts continues in its mission to bring great music to our community. We now have 2 main high schools.
Thank you. WC4C provides quality child care for our community, including care for those that cannot pay for child care. Since about
Last year, we served 43 families with a total of 120 kids. We also put together 80 envelopes for kids that are served by the Georgetown.
The mission of Annunciation Maternity Home is to help young women ages 14 to 22 who are in a crisis pregnancy and their children with housing, educational opportunities, and access to health services to empower them in their journey toward.
Our differences, they do a lot to teach us how to use the tools and gifts we got here. We got a lot at stake. And in the end, you're still my friend. At least we did intend for us to work. We didn't break, we didn't burn. We had to learn how to bend without the world caving in. I had to learn what I got and what I'm not, and who I am. I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you.
Thank you so much for coming this evening. If we didn't have judges and we didn't have an audience, it would be kind of a sad event. So I really appreciated that. Appreciate you coming out today.
I won't give up.